Hello, everybody. This is Rev Sue Frederick, and today we are talking about the angels in our monthly Patreon group. And of course, whenever I wake up in the morning before a class like this, I tune into the angels and say, what do you have to share with us today that I can share in the class? And they download it for me, and I've written it here. So I'm just going to cover this camera and read what they've given me for today. This is from the angels for all of us. Beloved ones, the merging of two realities is underway, the physical and the divine. We watch you all in the earth realm and see the difficulties you are having. The scarcity, lack, fear, and separation rule the thoughts of so many on earth. Yet what no one can see is the movement of divine order falling into place behind the scenes, in the background. Every shift that arrives in its perfect timing, and the many moving parts that must be arranged are falling perfectly into place. And what does this new world look like for all of you? The world is opening to the reality that, first of all, humans are a temporary body, that the soul is eternal. This true understanding goes against so much dogma and fear and disbelief in the world. So, of course, there will be dramatic occurrences to help humans understand this. And it will rearrange the belief systems of many who are most lost in their fear, in their belief that the physical world is all there is. As these illusions fall away, all that will be left standing is our own angelic, fiercely loving awareness that we are all souls. And I speak as an angel telling you that the angels stand beside each of you, knowing that your ego is what you cling to so tightly, and yet it is the thing that harms you the most. And as this new shift occurs, the ego will feel so dense and heavy that humans will no longer cling to it as they are aware of their true light, of the force of their love, of the connection all humans share, soul to soul. And so it is. And I think this is something we've talked about a lot before in these angel classes and in the downloads I've gotten for the angel books about how our false belief of that we are physical beings in a physical world and that our egos are serving our higher purpose. I can't even say that without laughing. But those false beliefs are what cause us the trouble, the pain that we experience on earth. And I have three really great questions that were emailed to me this week so that I could cover them in class. And the first one I've heard a lot, but I always think it's worth sharing again because everyone has this question in their heart. How do I know it's the angels coming through to help me rather than my spirit guides or my beloved departeds? Well, I love this question because it's really a question about frequency. And when we connect to our departeds, they come in with a voice, a personality, a vibration that we will recognize as them. So, even after 40 something years, when Paul wants to tell me something, he comes in with the Paul frequency that I'm so familiar with, the voice, the presence, the essence. And what's so interesting is I had a very profound reading from someone this week, and they brought through another past relationship, a boyfriend who had crossed in 2022, but I had been involved with him in my early 20s. And his vibration, his frequency came through in this reading to where there was no question it was him. And so different from Paul, so different from my mom and dad who are in spirit. So trust that when it's your departed beloveds, they're going to have a personality that they're going to put on just for you to recognize them and feel comfortable and safe with them, especially if it's your departed child. Your departed child is an eternal soul. However, they will take the form that you are most missing, that you most recognize them from. And when we cross, of course, and we get back to our posse of souls, those souls we recognize even when the personality is gone that they've taken in this earth life, because the soul light and vibration is eternal and it is unique for each of us. But these body costumes are not unique. I mean, they are unique, but they're temporary. They're not eternal. So in the higher realms, we see each other as frequencies of light and love, and auditory sound, voices carry the vibration of the soul. So that soul that you love and miss will come here in a way you recognize. But when you cross, you will see them as love and light and beauty in a form that you do recognize as them. And you will be in that same form of eternal light, consciousness, and vibration. And then the angels come in a very different way. Wait, I should talk about the guides first. So the guides come in as if it's your counselor showing up or your therapist. They're going to come in and go, here's my advice. And they won't use those words maybe, but they'll sort of have this more detached, I guess I would say, loving and wise, but detached energy of this is your life plan. Remember, this is what you chose. This is what you're trying to accomplish here. And it's loving, but it's not the same as the angels. And you'll notice I can't even talk about the angels without smiling, because when the angels drop in to be with us, and they're always with us, but when we become aware of them, which usually is us just looking up and feeling that frequency, allowing it to come to us, it is a frequency of joy and love and unconditional nurturing. And I'm always reminded of being a Catholic child growing up, singing to Mother Mary, "Oh Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today, Queen of the angels, Queen of the May." And that enveloping love that I felt as a child, that is the angels. They come in with no advice, no questioning, no personality, just a complete field of unconditional love, unlike anything we feel here on earth. So how do you know it's the angels? Is it just uplifting you, feel it, making you feel so loved immediately, making you smile in the sweet energy of it? That's the angels. And that's why we say that beautiful prayer, angels, lift me, love me, help me, heal me. That is instantly answered, and we are instantly shifted into the awareness that they are with us. The next question is, why do the angels focus on helping humans when humans, this is a great question, when humans are so clearly lost? I love whoever had the courage to send that question, because it's true. We're all humans, but we do recognize that we are clearly lost down here. I have two answers to that. The angels always love us. They don't judge us. And when we know that humans are lost here, but they don't see it that way. They see us as beautiful souls who came here on purpose, who are traveling a very challenging journey on earth, and they only love us. And in our souls, we only feel love, unconditional love. It's only the ego and the human mind that make us feel fear or doubt or judgment or any of those crazy things we feel here. But the angels live in the realm of love and sacred wisdom and light. So, of course, they see us the way we would see a baby or a toddler stumbling and crying and falling and having temper tantrums. That's how the angels see us, and they just want to hold us and love us and say, it's okay. It's all going to be okay. And so they love us anyway, is the answer to that question. The third question is, which sacred process will help me most when I want to connect to the angels? And, it's really the easiest, simplest process of just saying, and again, let's close our eyes and say it. Angels, lift me, help me feel your presence. Angels, love me. So easy, so quick. And it's like breathing in nectar. It is such a quick and rapid response of love. But I'll also say that anything that quiets your human mind, that is definitely what will help you hear and feel and know that the angels are with you. And so we quiet the human mind by meditation, especially with mantra, excuse me, and by being in nature, perhaps being outside in the beauty, the awe of nature that quiets the human mind. Also, also moving the body, going for a walk, all of that good movement stuff helps quiet the human mind. But one of my favorites is automatic writing, because the automatic writing, you are actually intentionally asking the angels something and then picking up your pen and writing. And this is what we did in my Angel 33-day class. Every morning for 33 days, we did the angel writing prompts. For example, I will open to one right here. Angel writing prompt. I love this journal because you can just open it to an angel. Okay, here we go. An angel writing prompt, and then you pick up your pen and write without thinking. And here's today's. Beautiful angels, what message do you want me to carry to someone else today? That's a really good one. Angels, what message do you want me to carry to someone else today? And then just right now, breathe into what that answer is. Or if you have your pen and paper, you can just write that answer. What message do you want me to carry to someone else today? I got my answer. These answers come quickly. They don't come from thinking or the left brain logic process. So asking and receiving is almost instantaneous. And then when we pick up the pen and write, that is definitely letting it flow through us. But I instantly got my answer, and I know you all did too. So, what I'll say to you is don't doubt it. Don't doubt the answer when it comes. Accept it and go with it. So, on that note, I'll unmute you all and you can ask your questions, or actually just unmute yourself when you have a question. Yes, Susie.
Um, I have to share about what you said about how you know it's your angel or your family. I've learned that my angel, my guardian angel, at the beginning it was like a male energy, so now it's a female energy, and I think that's because after my mom passed away, I needed it that. So she comes to me like if I'm the most beautiful, precious thing. Like
Oh.
it's so loving, and it's just this love. And then I always say thank you for loving me, even though sometimes I'm really bad. I don't know. I talk to my angel. But then when my son comes, is this like a fresh, like loving energy that goes like ticklish that
Oh.
goes through me. And it's so beautiful. And
And
then I know
and
Mike,
it's
and I know,
kind of playful, right?
yes, playful,
Yes, yes.
yes. And it's just like he wants to make me laugh and he wants
Yeah.
to tell me, Mama, you're okay. And I have to
Right.
tell you something. So I came back from Thailand and I had the most beautiful experience there. And I saw my son. It was overwhelming to me because I saw him so vivid. And he sat next to me. And
Oh,
he said to me, tell my dad to enjoy. But I got a little bit overwhelmed. And so I was really emotional after that because it was so vivid. And so I was gonna start crying, and I went to the shower because I didn't want my husband to see me. And I was gonna start crying, and the light started flicking.
oh, that's so great.
And I got so many beautiful messages when I was over there. And now that I'm here, I feel like the world, the people is too overwhelming. So I'm having today
Harder
I'm having
time.
trouble because
Yeah.
I feel like it's too much noise, too
Yeah.
much chaos, too much drama. And over there, it
Yeah.
was such a quiet place, so peaceful. I could feel my angel, I could feel my son. Everything was just so much love, so much peace. So that now that I'm here, I just don't even want to leave my room because I feel so overwhelmed. Like people too loud,
Yeah.
too much
So,
chaos, too much
Susie,
drama.
that's so good because the real benefit of travel is that it gets us out of our everyday routine. And the minute we get out of that routine, we start shifting upwards. We start kind of looking up at that higher realm. And that alone, just that simple act of not looking at the details of ordinary life, you can't look at your details of ordinary life when you're traveling because they aren't there, you know? So instead, we tend to just naturally focus up more on the higher realms. And that's why you get such clarity. That's why you get such downloads. And Thailand and all those Buddhist communities there are so beautiful in their appreciation of silence and meditation. You know,
Oh, okay. I
that's the
didn't even think about that.
yes. I mean, think about the difference between Christianity here in the West, where you walk into a church and everybody's singing and shaking hands and all this baloney.
Yes.
Whereas when you walk into a meditation center, whether it's Buddhist or Hindu, it's a hush, it's a quiet, it's a sacred acknowledgement that when we are still and quiet, we hear the spirit world and we hear God. And that is something that Western culture fights against so much because we just want to be busy and noisy and we think that's how we connect. No, it's not. So you went to a sacred place that understood the gift of silence. But now you can bring that home with you and sit in meditation more using the silence. You can use a mala the way they use in Buddhism to say a sacred word on every bead and sit in the silence. And that's how you bring the stillness with you through this Western world that is so noisy and so loud.
And the people were so humble and compassionate, the locals, that when they would say like good morning to me, I felt there, it was just like a gush of love to me that I just never felt before in so many people, that it was just so beautiful. The locals were just so loving and
Well,
so,
you're reminding me of everything that I love about the Buddhist and Hindu traditions of quiet and stillness and humility. And of course, they
yeah.
have dogma that I think is man-made, just like the Christians do. But I agree with you. There is such a great beauty in that stillness. And, you know, there are ashrams here in this country, and I remember going to one outside of Colorado, in Colorado, when I was really hurting in my 30s. And the thing that struck me instantly was, you know, you take off your shoes at the door, and that represents taking off your physical life, leaving it aside. And then you come in silence and you sit in that silence. And there may be chanting, but the chanting holds a different frequency of quiet connection and reflection. And then the chanting stops and you're in the silence. That's the gift of those traditions. So bring more of that into your daily life if you can, and you'll be able to feel again that strong connection to your beautiful son,
Yes.
to your spirits. Yeah.
Thank you.
Annette, yeah, because Annette knows about all of these things. You have to unmute.
I
There you
do know about these things. Yeah. I create my little mini ashram here, with my daily meditations. It's not always this quiet because obviously we have a small house and lots of activity.
are. Yeah.
But I have my own little sanctuary, so to go back into and get into that frequency of that and getting into the quiet and to calm
Yeah.
and and really don't try to overdo it anymore as I probably did at some point.
Mhm.
I'm just like let it flow and incorporate the angels and be more with what is aware and awake without following a specific kind of
Right. Yeah, we can outgrow dogma, but still at the same time carry the sacred traditions that help us quiet our human minds. Every religion has its own traditions to quiet the human mind. Those are the gold in every religion that we can take and put into our human journeys. The Catholics have the rosary, which I always used as a child unknowingly to quiet my human mind. But it really worked. And then when I went into the Hindu and Buddhist traditions, here they were holding the malas, which
yeah,
I have here somewhere,
I have
holding
one here
those.
right here.
Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah. So use whatever traditions help you to quiet the mind, but you never have to take on the dogma that goes with those traditions because that is man-made. I want to share something that I saw yesterday that really made me think about these things, these spiritual principles we're talking about. There is a documentary on Netflix called The Time of Disclosure, I think, and it's about all these military leaders talking about the presence of what we call extraterrestrials on Earth and all the evidence that there is, and that's been hidden, of course, by the government. But the most fascinating piece was they showed what they've learned is that these species travel through time and space in a bubble, like they have mastered quantum physics. We always talk about how quantum physics says that there is no linear time or space. Everything is happening all at once, and our left brain linear minds can't fathom that. So we think in a very linear fashion. This is why our engines, our spaceships are all motorized to travel in our linear perception of time, and therefore they don't work very well. They can't get out of our orbit, so to speak. And yet these other species come in from galaxies far away, and what they know now from their research is they travel in a bubble of quantum physics, time and space that never changes. This is so spiritually brilliant. So, what that means is the beings inside the spacecraft are inside a bubble that never changes. So, they don't age, they don't feel gravity, they don't feel the pressure of time travel and space travel the way our people do when we go into space. And they are in this quantum physics bubble, protected from outside forces of time and space. And I saw that as this cosmic principle of how we need to walk through our own physical lives every day in our bubble of time and space, in touch with the angels, knowing that God runs through us, knowing that we are divine beings of light and that everyone else is, walking through the chaos of this world in our little quantum space bubble, just like the ETs do, so that nothing phases us and we can live in the purest light and the purest love. And that's so spiritually true. And I love it to know that that is how these beings are coming here from other galaxies eons away. And the government was talking about how certain military personnel from our country have been invited into these bubbles to meet these beings. And as they step in, suddenly they see this huge, like, football stadium space in there, whereas when they stepped into the spacecraft, it was tiny, and they get in and it's huge, and they have a little conversation that they think takes a few minutes, and they get back outside to the Earth world, and hours have gone by, and sometimes days. So think about that our reality is in our own space and time bubble. We are responsible for it. So, what are we carrying in our bubble? What are we feeling in our bubble? Are we staying connected to the God source? Are we staying connected to the angels? Are we in touch with our own love and sacred wisdom? Or are we stepping outside of our bubble and getting lost in the tragedy and the fear of the physical world? I mean, this is an image that we can use in our daily meditation, painting that bubble of awareness and of love around us before we begin the day, knowing that the angels are with us, God is with us, we are beings of love and light, and we can travel this life just in that bubble and only bring light and love to everyone rather than being pulled into the drama and the negativity. So that's what I took from that documentary.
You know what is so interesting? Because last night I was dreaming about being in a bubble.
Oh,
And I had a beautiful light inside, and beautiful shimmery golden light, and I had a dimmer. I could do it on my own. I could light up the bubble if I wanted to.
so
Or I
good.
can travel in the bubble
Yes.
at kind of like in a not in a in, let's say not unexcited, but kind of in a cruising state.
Right.
Or I could say when it's necessary, I can actually make it light and bright.
That's
And it
so,
was really interesting because I
well,
had this conversation with my cousin
maybe the
yesterday.
ETs were taking you for a little ride. They were saying, Annette, we want to show you other galaxies. Come with
Oh, I'm not ready necessarily for that right now. Need a couple nights good sleep for that.
Oh, and by the way, another documentary that you should all watch, and I don't know if I mentioned this one in the 33-day class, but it's also on Netflix, and it's called Of In Waves and War, which is a quote from the Odyssey. And it's this true documentary story of Navy SEALs who were very traumatized by their experiences in Afghanistan and came home after hundreds of deployments and couldn't function, and went through all the treatments in Washington and Virginia for the military for PTSD, and none of it was helping. They were put on tons of medication, none of it was helping. Meanwhile, they were destroying their families, their wives, their children with their own fear and just terrible energy that they were experiencing. So the wives, of course, the women, this one wife did some research and said to her husband, there's a psychedelic treatment in Mexico that has extraordinary success healing PTSD, and it's not legal in the States. And she told her husband, either you go through this treatment, or I'm taking the kids and divorcing you. I love women and the power of women's vision, right? So this Navy SEAL who was very negative and suicidal and lost and experiencing so much trauma, there was a part of him that was still intact enough to say, okay, I will go to Mexico. And it's in Mexico because it's illegal. So it really takes a lot of courage to say, I'm going to go do this 2-day intensive psychedelic treatment to heal my PTSD. So he went, and he actually ended up bringing all of his Navy SEAL buddies eventually. And the camera is there, and it documents them seeing their human selves and their visions and their egos, and realizing some of them were going, I realized my ego had become a monster. To hear Navy SEALs say this is just amazing. And then they go through this huge purification and purging, and amazing. They get a soul review. This is all shown in the documentary, where they see the ripple effects of all of their actions and their thoughts and their deeds on other people. And they even see the people they had called enemies and the backstory of those enemies, and how we were all the same. I mean, all the spiritual principles we talk about in all of our classes are what these Navy SEALs were experiencing in these psychedelic treatments. And then at one point, at the end, this incredible, powerful Navy SEAL was on the floor crying, going, it really is all about the love. I mean, oh my God. And so this documentary is life-changing, and I've now watched it 3 times. I've watched it with my husband, I've watched it with friends. It puts you, the viewer, into that state of being back in touch with your soul just by watching what they're going through. So I recommend it as part of a spiritual practice to watch this Netflix documentary called In Waves and War. It is so profound.
Which one was the one before that you said?
The one before that I watched last night about the
Mhm.
bubble,
Yes.
called The Time of Disclosure. I think that disclosure, yeah, The Time of Disclosure. I love documentaries because often there's so much truth in them, and if they're well done, they're just so profoundly awakening for humans. So those are the 2 that I'm recommending right now. So, all right, sweethearts. Anybody else have questions, or should we do our guided meditation?
Just have one question.
Yes.
I've noticed that within the 2 years that I've been connecting with my angel, the form of connection, it changes. Like before, I used to hear more of Susie this and that, but now it's different. It's more like a thought, like a picture.
That's because your frequency is shifting.
Okay.
As you get used to listening and receiving, your frequency is rising. And so you're receiving it in a many sensorial way. And
Okay.
I've even noticed that for me with the angels, that the more in touch with them I am, they come in a collective choral of love and knowingness. It's not it's not an individual angel that I sense. It is really the collective. And I know that the more we rise up in our own frequency, the more we are in touch with the collective of the angelic realm collective. Because we originated, Susie and Annette, I know many of you originated in that angelic realm along with me. And that's why we're here on earth trying to spread the word about the healing capability of angels.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Marcia, did you have a question, sweetie?
Yes, I
Hey,
do.
hey, sweetheart.
Hey, it's so good to be back. I left on October 24th. I was gone for 26 days.
What happened, honey?
Well, it was planned. I went to Seattle to see my daughter. We went to Hawaii, which was profound. Back to Seattle, and then 10 days with my sister. But one of the things I noticed is I've been very emotional. Like right now, I could burst into tears,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure why. I'm just wondering what's going on.
Yeah, sweetheart. Well, first of all, we're just sending you so much love right now. There's so much, you're so intuitive and so sensitive. You do always feel the pain of the world, and we're sending you love that can ground you and help you feel your strength. And I'm getting a message that it really is about the body, that the body is what grounds us here. And you are feeling more in spirit than in body. And so it's almost like you're walking through the earth world with 80% of you in spirit world and 20% in the body. But as long as you're here, still taking a breath, you're still here to be sharing your wisdom with others. But for grounding exercises and purposes, one of the things I used to do when I was very hypersensitive in my 30s is a friend taught me, you take your hands, you sit on the floor, take your hands and put them down on the ground next to you and picture the energy, the God force of love coming in through the top of your head, but moving down your body and down through your cells, your arms, your muscles, tissues, and then down your hands into the ground, and even down the back of your spine because you're sitting on the ground, into the ground. And that as you do that movement, it helps you be here in the physical world. Marcia, you may be getting ready to make a transition to the angelic realm. And if you do, it'll be an easy, simple graduation of spirit. And if not, if you're meant to stay here, then bring the comfort, let God's love pour through you and down to ground you in this physical world and just help you feel more steady here. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Sue. Thank you.
Love you, sweetheart.
Love you so much. Love all of you.
We love you too. We're going to do another 33-day class very soon.
Good. Good. Oh, yeah. It was such a struggle. I'm going back to do the rest of it now that I'm home, but
Yeah.
it was such a struggle to try and keep up.
I know it's hard. It's so hard on the body to get up early like that. So I'm asking the angels, like, when should we do the next one? Should it be midday? Should it be end of day? Like, I'm going to let them guide me about when we should do the 33-day course, because a lot of people have told me how hard it was and yet how wonderful it was to start every morning with the practice. So the angels will tell us how to do it.
That's true. Yes.
So in the meantime, I think I'm going to take us all on our guided meditation right now. So everybody, let's close our eyes. Take 3 deep breaths with me. Inhale. And again. Again. And already we feel the presence of angels around each of us. They are putting their hand on your heart. Feel their loving presence. Feel their hand on your heart chakra. They are saying, trust that your love is fiercer than anything on earth you could ever be afraid of or worry about. And now as they take their hand away from your heart chakra, you see the golden bubble of love emerging from you and going out to the world. And this golden bubble of love paves your way through today. It smooths over any circumstances that may be troubling. It sends healing balm to any relationships that might be difficult. This golden bubble of love moves before you like a bowling ball, knocking away anything that might trouble you. And as you feel that knowledge that that is true, you feel calm and free to lift up now from the earth realm, rising up in your joyful liberation from the physical world, rising up, up, higher into the heavenly realms, moving up the 10 stairs of light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now walking through that tunnel with a huge, beautiful angel of golden light waiting, their arms open, your departed beloveds at the angel's side. And we move towards them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they pull us out into the circle of benches where we process our life. And right now, your angel stands right in front of you, saying, "Let me help you. Let me help you circulate love through your system so that when you go back to your earth life, you're more comfortable, you're more confident, and you feel that flow of God's love running through you without question." They are fixing your energy centers, so to speak, from any earth trauma that may have knocked us out of whack on earth. So feel that realignment happening. And you'll know that it's there when you feel the knowingness that all is well with your soul and always has been. And now, in that knowingness, you see your soul posse sitting here with you. It might be your children, it might be your parents, it might be your spouses or friends. They're all here, and it has a party celebration energy to it. None of them are suffering, none of them are worried about anything. They're bringing you into the grace of the wisdom and love of the higher realms, where there's never anything to worry about. And they're just showing you, let's move together. Let's stand up in this circle and just move around. You can call it sacred dance or sacred movement, feeling the joy, the freedom of the physical body and all of its aches and pains. We've left it behind on earth. And now our spirits are so light and free, dancing with our loved ones. Each loved one comes up and takes your hands and dances with you for a few moments. And you look into their eyes, soul to soul, and you see their love. You see their joy. And they move on, and the next one comes. You take their hands and dance with them and laugh. And people you've even forgot about who crossed over long ago, they are here in front of you looking so happy and young and healthy, taking your hands and dancing with you. The shared joy, the truth of the time and space continuum, that there is no linear time and space. It is all happening at once. Everyone we love is here. joy of it. Ah, that sacred remembrance that the God source is unconditional love and always present, blessing us in this world and beyond. And so see your soul posse here. Send them gratitude. Send them love. Tell them that as you go back to your daily life, you would be grateful for a sign that they are still with you in your earthly life, still loving on you, still helping remove obstacles for you. And they are saying, of course, we always do this, but today you'll be more aware of it. And you say thank you. Now the angels come and they're wrapping you up in grace and love and courage for your return to your earth life. It's like they're putting a cloak of light around you. See what color that light is. See what that cloak looks like. This is the cloak you'll be wearing all day today in your earth life, protecting you, uplifting you. And so now we turn and the angels say, let us fly you back to your earth body. We'll travel you through time and space. And they take you up arm in arm with your cloak trailing as they fly us all back through time and space, dropping us down into our perfect earth lives, knowing that we are not alone, that we are never alone, and that today we walk through every moment of this earth life with this cloak, this heavenly cloak around us, this protective light bubble around us, so that nothing negative or dark can ever penetrate our sacred bubble of love and light. And yet in this bubble, our light is more powerful than ever on earth. And everywhere we go, we are shifting the frequency for everyone. And so it is. Thank you all so much. That was a beautiful trip that I experienced along with all of you. Thank you, angels, for taking us there. I love you all so much.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank
Love
you.
you. Thank you.
Have a
So
beautiful
grateful.
day. Yeah. Have a beautiful day. Love you.